What secrets are you keeping from yourself? There seems to be a collective movement and insight coming in around clarity and things being revealed and what's hidden really being brought to light. And I think that a lot of these things have been happening for a while. And sometimes when things are coming up from underneath the surface and they've been hidden there, or for whatever reason, we weren't ready to see them or couldn't see them, it can be overwhelming. And in that process, sometimes we can sort of tell secrets to ourselves. And I think the most important person to be truthful to is you, because you deserve it. Hello, I'm Kristen. Welcome to this message. It's just what we need to hear. What do you need to know right now? What insights, what validations, what's coming up that's hidden, what's being lit up? What do we need to know? Welcome to the channel. So surrender. So surrendering to your own personal truth, surrendering to reality. It feels like it's been complicated. And yet at the same exact time, there's been an extraordinary amount of growth. And the heart has lit up. The heart has expanded. The heart has cracked open. I think you've been cracking open your heart in this process of revealing these truths and unearthing these things. Digesting the clarity and whatever overwhelm comes with personal truth and clarity at a very slow pace that allows you to integrate it perhaps more slowly than you would like, but nonetheless, slow and steady wins the race, and there has been growth. It feels like a forest or an overgrown pasture, an overgrown garden that you've been pruning and taking care of and nurturing and pulling out what's not needed anymore, purifying, cutting out. And now you can see past. And what's left is what's abundant, is what's green and growing and clear. It's like cutting out the dead stuff, the unnecessary stuff, the old stuff, so that the new stuff can prosper. Don't forget to hit the like button for me. I would super appreciate it. Let's see, what else? What else do we just need to hear about our own personal clarity and truth? The Ten of Rods, it's been coming up a lot lately. It's like you don't want to burn yourself out, and it's been a long process. It's been a long journey. And you've motivated yourself this entire time, like your own will, your own desire for change, for transformation, to really look at things, no matter how hard it is to look at them. Like there is this desire that you have that's pushed you through this, that's pushed you through the pruning of the garden. And it is exhausting. It is tiring, and it's important to rest. It's important to nurture yourself. It's important to take the time that you need and only be around people that are supportive. For some of you out there, there are people that you can talk to, and maybe you're feeling like you don't want to burden them, or that maybe there would be judgment. And I think you might be surprised, for those resonating with this, there's this one person, and you're going to be thinking about them as I'm speaking this. And I know in my heart they wouldn't be judgmental. I know they want to support me. I know that they would have a lot of great insight. I know that they could really help, and there's something stopping you from from connecting with them about this, from revealing, right? From revealing your secret, revealing this secret thing that somehow has been lodged into your body, you know, this running story that this is something somehow to be ashamed of. And yet in the meantime, you've been in the garden reading. So perhaps you've been holding both. You've been holding the, I'm going through this process and I'm reading my garden. I'm just tearing out what I don't need. And it's, you know, at first you're like, oh, I'm going to keep that. And you go back, nope, that's out of here. That's a weed. That's not done. I don't want to try to save that anymore. Like that patch over there, those plants, that, you know, group of vegetables, they're not savable. But you know what? Next time I try to grow that particular thing, the next time you try to grow or expand or produce or go for something, you're going to know and have knowledge that you didn't have before because that thing didn't work out. That plant didn't grow, those flowers didn't grow, those vegetables didn't grow the way you thought they were going to grow, but you learned something in the process of it. So it's okay to get rid of it and make space. And to bring in the people around you, because you have choice. And it's important to stay in balance. Giving yourself the time and space to be in this new clarity that you have, in this balanced, perhaps when things are presented to you, when choices are presented to you. Take a moment. It's like your brain is seeing things more clearly. In a way, you're more relaxed in general. We all have our moments, but in general, you're handling stress and anxiety much, much better, with more resilience. And so lean into that. And it's easy to go back into the old way and immediately start thinking in the old way and start choosing. You know, it's like, well, this is how I always made choices in the past, or when these things are presented to me, this is how I always, you know, go about it. And it's like, stop and allow your heart and to feel into it. Allow, how do these choices rest in your body? How does this choice rest in your body? And find your balance before making a decision. Look at the subtle things. Look at the nuances. Because sometimes when people present things to us, or, you know, particularly, you know, certain groups of people, it can be very tricky and slippery. And it really can sound absolutely great, but there's something in the presentation. There's something in the way that the way it was written, the way the text or the email was written, or the letter was written, or the words they're speaking, or the tone of their voice, or just the little shift of their head. There's something about it that you think, no, it's just a little thing. I'm being paranoid. There's a difference between being a little paranoid and having your body and your heart talk to you. You know, your body and your heart wants to support your brain. Your brain wants you to take what you're feeling in your body and your heart and integrate it into the decision. Gonna come back later. Mwah. Nico always wants to steal the show here. Temperance is absolutely about balance. It's about the titration. It's about moving slowly. When something is new, or we're stepping into a new version of ourselves, or an expanded version of ourselves, or we finally feel, well, I'm finally clear on certain things, or in areas again, it's this sort of like, well, can I trust it? And it's important to step into what feels a little bit uncomfortable, because it's the only way to move through it, is to surrender to it. right? I'm going to pause while I find my surrender card. We have to surrender to it, right? And at the same time, you're surrendering to the work you have already done on yourself. You know, remember that. So you can do it a little bit at a time. You can go into the garden every day and have to go in there and over one weekend pull out the whole thing. Although you certainly can, and that's needed and that's important for those big moments sometimes, those big sweepings. But in general, it's good to go into something that's uncomfortable, surrender to it, feel it, notice that you're doing something new, notice that it's working for you, that there's something about it that you can lean into that feels good, that you like, but it's uncomfortable too, and then step back. And in doing it that way, you'll get more comfortable and be able to relax into this new way of being in a more sustainable and committed way where you're integrating all the growth, all the abundance, all the work that you've done on yourself. The Two of Cups. Well, this is union of the self. This is the parts of yourself coming together. This is taking care of yourself. This is coming together with and in alignment with people that accept you for who you are, who love you, who want to be there and help you, who won't judge. That regardless of what the experiences were in the past with people that were, they look like they're your friend, really they were just truthy. You thought that they were, inspiring you in your spiritual path or in your work path, or this was a friend that was helping you with opportunities and networking or meeting people or just being more social, but it was really about them or about some kind of agenda. This is really surrendering to that place of alignment with people that you know in your heart, our family, their tribe. Give me more on this Two of Cups. We all love the Two of Cups. So let's dive into the cracks in the Two of Cups. More of this Two of Cups. King of Swords. So being in your personal truth is attractive. It's sexy. Right? No matter what kind of relationship it's attracting. Romantic, friends, family, work. People are attracted to a person who takes care of themselves, who has confidence in themselves, who is willing to do the work. This revealing secret, your own secrets to yourself with this King of Swords. But it's almost like being really direct about how you need to focus on your own personal vision. You're intelligent. Using your abilities of communication. Perhaps in the past, things have felt very awkward for you to communicate. I think when we're carrying a lot of secrets, regardless of secrets of ourselves, secrets of our lives, things that we're not accepting about ourselves, it can be very negative to our communication because it's sort of like, it's almost like we don't know what to, do I really say that? Do I really reveal that? If I say this completely unrelated thing, will it somehow reveal this other thing that I don't want to know and the shame of it? And it can get complicated. Complicated, and yet you have found your way into a more expansive pathway here. Like, what's behind the complication? To me, it looks like, this black void, and this space can be filled with anything. You also could be attracting into your life in some capacity or another, a King of Swords type person who is really ambitious, who really is very truthful to you. They're not mixing and matching their words. It's not like a word salad. Or it's not, they say one thing one day when they're, you know, that thing where it's like someone says something and they really mean it in the moment. Like they really do mean it in the moment. But then it's just that moment and it's not sustainable. How many of us have had dates like this? Or I think of it more as like a thing when we're dating or we're with someone and like you know that they meant something in the moment. It's not you're not gaslit here. But then it's just like, they only really felt it in that moment. And this, of course, can be family, friends, our bosses, right? Or work colleagues, people that are like, oh yeah, in this moment, that idea sounds great or that. And then the next week when it's about to happen, it's like, yeah, I really don't want to take that inspired idea. Let's just stick with what we normally do. This is attracting a person who is willing to be edgy. They're not afraid of a little bit of danger. And by danger, I mean exciting, desire, creating. And this is somebody who really is an excellent communicator. Could be a writer, a journalist, a lawyer, somebody who does have to do writing or speaking for a living in any capacity. Somebody who does a lot of presenting. Perhaps you're going to be putting yourself in a position where you're going to be presenting more. Maybe you're thinking about law school. If you're thinking about law school, go for it. If you want to start a YouTube channel and get in front of the camera, start going for it. And being willing to get in front of the camera and be awkward and to try it and to figure it out and to figure your way out and to do it slowly. You get on, you do it, you see how it goes, you try again. That's what we all do. For some of you, you're thinking about writing a novel or writing some sort of actual writing. And it's something you've wanted to do for a while. Some of you want to self-publish, writing a script. And you want to tell a personal story, a story that's personal to you. I'm getting some of you are writing a TV show and you think it's too complicated, or you've got a script or something and you feel like the first draft is too complicated. And it's just like, go back and revise. That's what it's all about. Or perhaps there's a person that you can trust to read the first draft, and you have an idea that you could give this to them, but you're a little bit afraid of that. And if I'm saying this and you've got someone on your mind, you should go ahead and they've got something valuable to say that's only going to enhance what you're writing, but also validate you. Sometimes I know we're supposed to be confident and validate ourselves, and that's absolutely true. It has to come from within. But sometimes it's just nice to be around people that tell you how cool you are and validate you and are happy for you and want you to be your best self and to be confident. There are people waiting for you to step into this part of yourself. They see this. There are people around you that see you. We see you. And it's going to be extraordinarily gorgeous to watch you step into and surrender to the void of creativity with endless possibilities, and to rest in the imagination where anything can happen, even beyond what you could possibly think of, if you could surrender to the journey that you've created for yourself by cutting away and detoxing and clearing out and seeing what's dead and done and getting rid of it and making the space. That's what's coming for you. The Hermit, because you've been on this journey and now you are lighting the way for yourself, and you're lighting the way for people around you as well. When we do this work on ourselves, it then makes us more available to be of service and to mentor and lead others. And as much as we all feel, like I feel, you may feel, well, I want mentors, I want people who are, further along the path to inspire me, to lead me. You are ready to be that for someone. now. I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you so much. I'm Kristen. Hit the subscribe button if you're liking these conversations. I would love to connect with you more. I have videos out for the collective every single day. And I do true crime on Tuesday because I love talking about true crime. So if you want to come talk about true crime on Tuesday with me, otherwise we have love, we have career, we have mystery messages and all the good stuff. And I will see you on the next one. Bye.